Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our bold analysis. In the wake of rigging scheme that is pitting IBC with three foreigners from Venezuela, Deputy President took his vote hunt to the Rift Valley region. And in my analysis, I was wondering, despite the fact that William Ruto is banking on Rift Valley as his bedrock on this August 9th election, he was spending less time with his primary voters. And after going to Narok, they were on the other side of the lower south, targeting the Kipsigis community from Bomet and Kericho County. So I followed through that rally, and by the way, there were people that were ferried from Bomet to Kericho, and also the residents of Kericho. So that turnout was a turnout of the lower south, and I think Deputy President is just trying to target, or rather his strategy in Rift Valley is now trying to get the sub-tribes, the Kipsigis and the Kalenjins, the Nandis on the other side, and that is why that rally was held there. And when I followed that rally, I took keen attention on the tone. Of course, it was expected that in that political rally, they were going to take time to respond to the issues at IBC and the normal script against President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. I took keen interest on the choice of speakers and the planning on how the speakers or what the speakers were going to say in the podium. And that rally, or rather William Ruto's tour in the Rift, opens up a pandora of thoughts on what exactly he is now trying to do. I listened to speakers from Kimani Chungwa, Kithure Kindiki, Rigathi Gachagua, and the other speakers there, the other Rift Valley speakers there. And by that I did not see Kipchumba Murkomen. I don't know whether he was there or maybe he is planning some other rallies. But there was also an incident where Isaac Ruto and Gachagua nearly clashed at the rally. Deputy President has retreated back to the Rift Valley home turf for the last stretch of the campaigns. One of the thorny issues that emerged in that rally is the 6-piece voting pitch by Rigathi Gachagua. And I remember Rigathi Gachagua saying that in Mount Kenya, that Kalenjin community should vote in William Ruto and UDA candidates because in Mount Kenya, that is the plot. But I want to challenge it, honestly. I think voters will just have to make conscious decisions. Even though the issue of 6-piece voting has been a challenge. I remember even Raila Odinga's last rallies in Nyanza was really very high octane, and there was a lot of tension that emerged just because of the 6-piece voting block. And it got to a point where Isaac Ruto had to go to tell Arun Cheriot, who was the MC of the event, to give a fair chance to other candidates because all the other candidates or all the other supporters are going to vote for Deputy President, but the other parties are coming now. Isaac Ruto is facing stiff competition, or let me say Hilary Banchok. The UDA governor candidate in Bomet is facing stiff competition from Chama Mashinani candidate and the party leader Isaac Ruto. And Isaac Ruto can shock Barchok. I have followed some of those rallies there. He is not a pushover. And this is someone who understands Kenyan politics. Barchok was actually a teacher before he was appointed as governor to the late Lona, also. So when Laboso passed on, he was that's when he now inherited that seat. Look, I want you to listen to the 6-piece voting card. This can be seen as antagonizing voters, but I want, just before we move on, to have to listen to that.
Na uwezi faulu bila kuwa na jeshi lako. Tumeamua pale kwa mlima tunachagulia William Ruto kutoka MCA, mbunge, senator mpaka governor UDA. Na mimi nasikia hapa watu ya Kericho na watu ya Bonde la Ufa mnataka kuleta mchezo. Hiyo mchezo mnaleta muache. Pale kwetu watu ya independent tunaweka hao grupu moja na Azimio. Tumekubaliana? Tumekubaliana? Unajua mtu naitwa independent, gari ambaye haina number plate ni nani?
So that is the voice of William Ruto while speaking there. By the way, the speech was long, so we will perhaps get a translator who can break it down to us what exactly maybe he was saying. When Kithure Kindiki also was called to address the rally, Kindiki decided to refer back to the 2013 issue and was trying to push Raila Odinga and saying, reminding the Kalenjin voters that the covalent bond between Deputy President William Ruto and President Uhuru Kenyatta, who is now his greatest enemy, was because of ICC. Remember, Kindiki was William Ruto's lawyer all during the ICC cases. So Kindiki will then come out to speak about the ICC issue. But I took the much attention also on Kimani Ichung'wah, because Kimani Ichung'wah was addressing the voice of Kikuyu community. One thing I know is, yes, there are also the Gema members who stay in Kericho and maybe were part of that rally, but I don't think they were the majority targeted. What was targeted is just a messaging trying to grip Kalenjin and Kikuyu in one basket. I wonder how this is going to work. And they spoke about Kuteswa and things on passionately about Lamada and all that. And I captured Kimani Ichung'wah's words.
Mmejaribu njama na mbinu nyingi. Mumemtesa William Ruto, mkatutesa, mkajaribu njama ya kumuondoa William Ruto kwa serikali through impeachment, ikashindikana. Mumejaribu njama hata ya kumtoa uhai. Ukule mpango yenyu, njama yenyu ya Lamada ikashindikana, sababu kuna Mwenyezi Mungu mbinguni. Tunataka tuwaambie leo, hata hizo njama ndogo ndogo mnajaribu na Kinoti na DCI na IEBC, hakuna mahala mtaenda.
But I want to say that it is too late. And if I was William Ruto, I would challenge these Mount Kenya politicians around him. This is a free advice. If they want to grip this narrative of Kalenjin-Kikuyu, then they need to embrace the position of vice president. The position of deputy president as being given to Rigathi Gachagua. One thing I would expect is they would go to Rift Valley, and because in 2013 and 2017, William Ruto was a deputy president, William Ruto was going to campaign in Kalenjin land and in Kikuyu land saying that I have also been given the position of deputy president. These politicians are honestly lying and blackmailing Deputy President William Samoei Ruto. If they want to do this grip and they honestly mean it, then they should embrace the position of Deputy President, even if they are not embracing Rigathi Gachagua as a person, but they should embrace that that position is being given to Mount Kenya. All the other things are just posturing and for political messaging. This might be too late, to say the truth. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell, and kindly like our video. And also thank you guys for continued support on our sister Sarah Tieno Onyango, who is locked in Kenyatta. You can reach out. Her number is 07 16 357 360. 07 16 357 360. Any support would highly be appreciated as we work towards achieving the budget. There is a transition in State House of the 10 years regime by Deputy President William Samoei Ruto and President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So by all virtues, someone who was born in this country in 2010 only knows that the president and his deputy is William Ruto and Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now is this age. That is all they know. They don't know all the other stories. That is the first transition. The second transition is Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya is looking also for the person to inherit President Uhuru Kenyatta. And this two transition, and specifically let me look at the Mount Kenya transition, it has created a lot of repellent forces with conflicting interests, that things that leaders cannot converge together. That is why I want to say that the second plan B by Deputy President to now try to revive that Kalenjin-Kikuyu chemistry ahead of this election, as try to stir up emotions, because why they were going to Rift Valley is just to try to stir up emotions and get a higher turnout. Remember, the whole rigging scheme at IBC is targeting something around voter turnout, manipulation of voter turnout. Now, this transition in Mount Kenya cannot allow for a high octane grape chemistry, hip-born politics between Kalenjin and Kikuyu. And I think it's time that we accept that does not exist. That honestly does not exist. This election, we have seen that there is a lot of character framing. Look at Azimio la Umoja presidential candidate. Look at the social media pages. They are talking more about Raila Amolo Odinga. If you listen to what they say about Raila in the rallies, they're not saying less, they're saying less about Raila Amolo Odinga's government. In fact, it's only Raila himself that is telling Kenyans what they want to do. But the people around Raila Odinga's strategists are framing Raila Odinga as a person that will bring stability in the country, and his character is right for the country. William Ruto, on the other hand, has received a backlash because of the negative framing, and there is a lot of reckless messaging on the other side and unstrategic messaging by his team. So the issues of anger, the issues of corruption, the issues of power, quest for power, that has framed William Ruto. So the character framing surpasses the tribal consciousness, because someone was saying, are we going to vote for a Kikuyu, a Luo, a Kalenjin, or we are going to vote for a candidate? We are going to vote for one president. The president is a person. The president is not the community. And sometimes you need to get to know the battles that you fight. My good friend Yamumu Stella once told me that, Kevin, that fight is not worth fighting for. We were working somewhere close and there was a lot of fight with the bosses, and they then tell me, Kevin, some battles are not worth fighting for. I want to believe that William Ruto created many enemies, and coincidentally some of these enemies are from Mount Kenya. The enemies from Mount Kenya are now scattering the gamer because they have all their interest. He's fought everyone, be it Joe Mushero, be it Mount Kenya Foundation, be it President Uhuru Kenyatta. There is also Nancy Gitau, there is PS Kibesho, and there is just everyone. He has created so enemies that these enemies have gone to the battlefield and is now trying to disintegrate the soldiers. He would have been very successful by at least create enemies, but because you are targeting Central, don't create enemies there. I have seen politicians, Oscar Sudi attacking the president and all that. And do you know Oscar Sudi is never attending a rally in Central? If there is any, challenge me. Nitole clip nione. If there is a rally, Oscar Sudi has ever attended in Kiambu or in Murang'a or Nyeri, challenge me, I want to see. I want to see that clip. He has never. Because they have created enemies, so there is a lot of antagonism on the other side. This election, guys, Kenyans will most likely vote on the rational appeal because there is a deficit of emotional factor. In 2013, the ICC was highly emotional because someone would go and tell our granny that, look here, if you don't vote William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, they're going to be locked in jail and you'll never see them again. That one is very fearful, you know, that's very emotive. This election lacks that. This election is one that people are going for the rational appeal. And since the understanding is we've been voting in and out, but there is one man we've never tested. That man is Raila Amolo Odinga. And perhaps it's time to see what he has for the country. That's my bold.